So right now, we will win because we are the best on the field. It was the field like, all day like, all night like, all stats like, this one like, offense like, defense like, and it's not like, and it's not like, and it's not like, let's go!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the football field here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is once again happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. We are set to begin coverage of week number 2 of this high school football season as your Milford Scarlet Hawks get ready to take on the Franklin Panthers. Davenport meets Kelly Rex in this showdown here in the second consecutive home game of the year for the Scarlet Hawks. And both of these teams hoping to turn the page from a very rocky week 1 of the season here at Milford High School. We saw a very tough effort for the Scarlet Hawks in a week 1 defeat at the hands of the Marlboro Panthers. Milford only managing to score 5 total points in the game last week. 3 of those points came on a field goal from sophomore kicker Sean Lahane, and then a safety on a muffed punt in the closing seconds of the game for Marlboro allowed Milford to grab those final 2 points. They actually did have an opportunity for one final offensive possession late in that game after they were down 13-3 through much of the second half. But ultimately Milford dropping that game to Marlboro by a final score of 13-5 to open up the season at 0-1. For Franklin, they did not fare any better in their first game of 2016, opening up their season at home last week. And it was a very rocky start for the Panthers taking on the Stoughton Black Knights, and it was a 58-19 blowout with Stoughton coming away with the victory. And for this Franklin team, a lot of change coming into this 2016-2017 school year. A brand new athletic director in Franklin and also a brand new head football coach as well after Brad Sidwell stepped away from both of those positions at the conclusion of last school year. So Ian Bain taking over, the first-year head coach for Franklin, looking to bring this team back in a positive direction. It's been some lean years over the last few years for this Franklin team. They finished up last season with a disappointing record overall on the season. Out of the playoff picture once again, both of these teams failing to make the playoffs last year, so rebuilding seasons for both of these teams, that is what they are hoping for. So we should see a good battle on the field here tonight. Again, Milford High School taking on Franklin High School. Kickoff coming up in just over 5 minutes from now. Right now, the Scarlet Hawks waiting to take the field. Franklin gathered behind the far end zone, waiting to take the field as well. The marching band out there on the field, so we are expecting some pregame festivities to take place in just a few short moments. So again, as we mentioned, both of these teams off to 0-1 starts on the year. Milford scoring just 5 points in their opening game of the season. Franklin 19 points, while allowing 58 points to what should be a very difficult Stoughton team. That is eye-opening for Milford, as of course Stoughton a part of that Davenport division. Milford will face Stoughton in a tough matchup on the road a little bit later in the season. But as we mentioned during our broadcast last week, the Scarlet Hawks with the opportunity to start with 3 straight games here on their home field, so looking to take advantage. They were not able to do it last week, hoping to turn the page here tonight against Franklin before they prepare for a tough matchup against the Canton Bulldogs here at home next week, before they leave for back-to-back road games against North Attleboro and Foxborough, before next returning home to Milford on October 15th for a showdown against Sharon. Before that road matchup with Stoughton in week 7, that will be the final regular season game before the playoffs are decided. And you can hear the chorus of boos now from the Scarlet Hawks fans as Franklin has now taken the field. A very large varsity squad, always good numbers on this Franklin football team. But again, it has been a struggle over the last few years for this team to get it going. Franklin was able to defeat Milford in their regular season meeting last year. It was a 24-21 victory. Franklin overall last year finishing with a disappointing 2-9 record. They went just 1-4 in their league play. Of course, just counting their matchups against Kelly Rex opponents. Their other win on the season, of course, as we mentioned, at home against Milford. That was a very tough loss in week 2 of last season. And so Milford now hoping the home field will yield better results for them, as right now some of the youth football players are lined up about ready to march out onto the field. The cheerleaders lined up beyond the right side end zone. As we are just a few short minutes away from kickoff in this game. And so what we will do now is we will step aside very briefly. We'll allow those pregame festivities to take place, and when we come back, we will have the kickoff. It is the Franklin Panthers visiting the Milford Scarlet Hawks, and we will have all of the game action for you next here on Milford TV.
Milford has won the coin toss and defers to the second half.
Watch out! Watch out! Retain, arm.
TV. And just moments ago, we saw the coin toss at midfield. Franklin winning the toss, electing to receive, so they will have the football first to begin the evening. And so the special teams units for each side taking the field. And when you think about keys to this game today for Milford, really a simple key to the game, trying to get into the end zone. They were not able to score a single touchdown against Marlborough last week, and really relying heavily on the running game until late into the second half. We did start to see the passing game show some signs of life towards the fourth quarter. Some nice receptions by Jack Capoletti, also Caden Kelly becoming a factor on this varsity football team this season. He made some nice catches as well. So it will be interesting to see if Matt Curran, making his second varsity start, will have an opportunity to open things up a bit more in the passing attack. But meanwhile, Sean Lehane, the sophomore kicker, lined up ready to send this away to the Panthers. And a line drive kick sent deep towards the 10-yard line, reeled in there by the Panthers. The return man, number 14, Kinley Baird. He tries to find some room on the far side after crossing the length of the field. He was able to make his way out close to the 30-yard line before being forced out of bounds. Just shy of the 30-yard line, as it turns out. And so now the Scarlet Hawks defense looking to stay strong. They had a good game overall last week against Marlborough. Really one big broken play on the day last week, and that was that 89-yard touchdown reception by Marlborough's Kevin Short. Marlborough's other touchdown was scored as a direct result of a turnover, as Franklin will keep it on the ground on first down, and getting an early carry is Jacob Walawaki, the senior running back, really the star offensive player on this Franklin team. Milford knows that name well from last year's matchup. Walawaki doing a good job getting Franklin back into that game. Milford had a 21-7 lead over Franklin midway through the third quarter last season. It looked like Milford was finally going to break an extended losing streak against Franklin, but the Panthers coming back with what turned out to be 17 unanswered points. Finally coming through with a field goal with just about 10 seconds left in the game. That was that crazy start to last season for Milford. They had a game-winning field goal in week 1 and a game-losing field goal going against them in week number 2. It is 1st down and 5 now for the Panthers, looking for some space straight up the middle. It's Walawaki again on the carry, and he is brought down immediately. Still in the opening minute of play in this first quarter. A 2nd down and 5 coming up for the Panthers. The line of scrimmage, the Franklin 33. Again, they hand it to Walawaki. He tries to force his way straight through the middle of that defensive front. So 3 straight carries for Jacob Walawaki to open up this game. And that will set up 3rd down and about a yard. And so we'll see if they keep it in the hands of the senior back on 3rd down. From the shotgun, they do hand it to Walawaki. Some initial contact from the Milford defense, but Walawaki able to knife his way through to collect the 1st down. So a fresh set of downs now for Franklin now. The line of scrimmage, the Franklin 43, as now we'll see our first Franklin passing play deep down the far sidelines and overthrown. Looking for Sean Leonard. The starting quarterback for Franklin tonight, Jake Noviello, the junior. Last year when these two teams met up, it was Brad Jaros who was the quarterback. Jaros still a member of this team, but now listed as a fullback and defensive end. 2nd down and 10 now for the Panthers. Noviello out of the shotgun, hands it off again to Walawaki, and he just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Third down, and it looks like they'll say 9, so they give Walawaki a yard. Just under 9 minutes still on the game clock here in the first quarter. And Noviello now a bit confused out there, and eventually Franklin calls for the timeout. Again, the Panthers under the direction of first-year head coach Ian Bain. A very different sight for these Franklin Panther fans after 2 decades of Brad Sidwell at the helm of this program. He had a lot of success in his tenure, but the program just struggling to find its way over the last few years. Hard to exactly put your finger on the problem with this Franklin team over the last few years, having difficulty in what is just a very tough Kelly Rex division. Of course, the entire Hockomock League, very difficult, but in particular when you're dealing with the likes of Mansfield and King Philip in your division, amongst others. It makes things very difficult. North Attleboro also a part of that Kelly Rex division up until this year. Now a quick pass coming out of the timeout, and it looks like Milford has the interception. Slicing in to make the pickoff. And that was Jack Capoletti, the captain, flying in at the last moment, making the interception, keeping his feet down in bounds, and Milford will have the ball. The senior two-way player making his presence felt here early. You saw Jack Capoletti at the end of last week's game so disappointed with himself. Milford driving late in that game, trying to get something going with minutes to go. Made a big interception, but then fumbled the ball. Marlborough was able to recover, and that really took away any chance for a late Milford comeback. So disappointed with himself, but feeling good now after making a big interception, and it's now 1st and 10 Scarlet Hawks. And we'll see a running play up the middle on 1st down, and it is Blake Hill who gets the first carry So we will see a good battle tonight of star running backs with Wallawaki on the Franklin side and Blake Hill on the Milford side, who rushed for 90 yards in the loss last week. 21 rushing attempts for 90 yards. No other Milford running back even had double digits in yards gained. So Hill was every bit the workhorse we expected him to be. On second down now. This time it's Asong Amamense, who has some good room on the far side, gets himself inside Franklin territory all the way down to the 40-yard line.
The play is good for the Scarlet Hawks.
The clock stopped now, continues to roll, I should say. So Asong Amamense with a huge gain. And the line of scrimmage now, the Franklin 40. Milford right back to the line. They have Blake Hill in the backfield in the I formation. He gets the toss. Hesitates in the backfield, now plows his way forward, and it takes about 6 Franklin defenders to bring him down. Able to gain 3 yards on the ground. So second down now from the 37-yard line of the Panthers. Milford getting this offensive possession off of a turnover. And now Curran hands it off. The play up the middle for a small gain. And that was Ryan O'Toole getting the handoff. So far, we've seen 3 different running backs utilized on this opening possession. Hill along with Amamense and Ryan O'Toole now. It's third down now for the Hawks. We've seen 4 plays run from this Milford offense, all of them on the ground. They set up once again in the I formation. And a low snap. And Curran now in trouble. He gets wrapped up, and they will whistle the play dead. It will go as a sack of the quarterback, bringing him back towards the 40-yard line. They will say just a 2-yard loss on the play, but it will set up a 4th down and 8. And so it looks like we will see the punting unit come out onto the field. The drive looking good early, especially with the big gain from Asong Amamense. But Milford cannot gain any further ground, and now Lehane will have to punt. A low rolling snap, but Sean Lehane able to keep his composure, and he sends a great kick all the way back. It looks to be to the Franklin 4-yard line. Fair caught there by number 16 for Franklin, Packy Watson. And so Milford now playing the field position game. They get a good punt out of Lehane. A very good weapon for this Milford offense. Lehane obviously has demonstrated his abilities as a solid kicker, showing good range for field goal attempts, knocking one through from 36 yards last week, but also a terrific punter as well, as you can see there, pinning the Panthers deep inside their own 5-yard line.
Shut up. I'm actually safe here.
So Franklin able to avoid disaster after the turnover. Milford losing the turnover battle 2-0 last week. A interception thrown by Matt Curran last week, and also that fumble lost by Jack Capoletti. No turnovers on the Marlborough side last week, and that really ended up being a huge factor in the game. Franklin turning the ball over on their opening possession. After the penalty, 1st down and 15 now, so the Panthers pushed back even farther. And they will run it on first down, and now the back pushed back into the end zone. They will rule forward progress, however. It was Walawaki again as that Milford line aggressively forced the back into the end zone, but no safety as forward progress was issued. And right now, Franklin is pinned back right to their goal line. 2nd down and 13. Right from the 1-yard line. Not much room to work with. And they will hand it off again. Again, Walawaki is met immediately, narrowly avoiding the safety. Right now, Franklin just with no opportunity to move. Great job out of this defensive front for the Scarlet Hawks, setting up 3rd down and 13. And we'll see if Franklin dares to throw the ball. So far, we've only seen 2 passing attempts from Jake Noviello, one of them resulting in the Capoletti interception. 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. Franklin spread out wide. Noviello ready now from his own end zone. He drops back, looking to throw. He dumps it over the middle, and that is incomplete. No one even in the vicinity. And that will set up 4th down and 13, and the Panthers will be forced to punt out of their own end zone. And not an easy situation to punt in here, as there'll be very little room to snap the ball. The teams retake the field. Ryan O'Toole right now set up as the return man. He was positioned right around the Franklin 40, but instead now timeout is called. We will take the opportunity to take the timeout as well. 3 minutes and 36 seconds remain in the first quarter. We are scoreless between Milford and Franklin. Coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics right here on Milford TV. A good observation up here in the press box. Milford had 12 men on the field before that last snap, so the Scarlet Hawks sidelines realizing that in time to call the timeout. Now getting the correct personnel out on the field. And so Franklin called for the false start penalty here, we do believe. And so this will push them back even further, as it looks like they are going to try to run a passing play here on 4th down. Perhaps feeling like they just don't even have the room to successfully punt the ball. Noviello lined up, drops back to throw, and now the play will be whistled dead once again. And now we'll see what the call is here. This has been an elongated period of time here to run one play, and that went as another false start penalty against Franklin. They can't really get pushed back much further than they are at this point. So still 4th down. Now here's the snap, looking to throw down the field. They had a receiver open and thrown incomplete as Noviello was looking for number 87, Connor Peterson. And that will be a turnover on downs, and Milford will have the football from the Franklin 1-yard line. So an absolute golden opportunity here for the Scarlet Hawks, placed right on the doorstep. And so now Franklin punting the ball, and so a lot of confusion here. We had the play on the field as a turnover on downs, but instead Franklin able to punt the ball, and right now a lot of confusion. So as it turns out, that was the 4th down play. A little bit of miscommunication up here in the press box. So fortunate for the Panthers, they were just able to get a punt away on 4th down. So instead of Milford having the opportunity to take over from the 1-yard line, they still have excellent field position after the punt, with the line of scrimmage right at the Franklin 30-yard line, in a similar spot on the field to where their first drive of the game stalled. And from 1st down, Curran looking to throw. He completes it. Looked to be Amamense in stride on the far side. It was Capoletti. The play obscured from our vantage point up here in the press box. So Capoletti, the official announcement, getting that reception, his first of this game. From the I formation now. The run up the middle, close to the 1st down. And it will indeed be a Milford 1st down. So still just 1 passing attempt so far out of this Scarlet Hawks offense. The clock continuing to run now, close to 2 minutes to play in the 1st quarter. Curran surveying his personnel, ready to take the snap. He hands it off to Blake Hill up the middle. Hill forcing his way forward. Good second effort out of Hill. As we say over and over again, Hill just such a tough man to bring down. The clock continuing to roll now, under 2 minutes to play. 2nd down and 5. And Curran losing his balance there as he looked to pass. And so Matt Curran right now, one of the things he needs to work on as this season goes on is his ability to handle those snaps cleanly. We saw it last week on that final offensive play that Milford was able to run, looking to throw it deep down the field, and Curran ended up dropping the snap. Had to rush the throw, no chance to hit Caden Kelly, who was streaking up the middle of the field. 3rd down and 7 now for the Hawks, as Curran will look to throw. He is in trouble on the run, and he will be brought down from behind. The sack by Jake Lyons, a 5'10" senior, I should say, able to make the play for a big Milford loss. And we'll see after that loss if Milford attempts the field goal here. Just seconds to play in this 1st quarter now, as Milford will face 4th down and 17. We'll see if they run a play here before the clock winds down. Just 7 seconds to go, as the offense will go for it here. 3 seconds to go. They do snap the ball. A little time to throw this time for Curran, and he's able to make the completion on the far side of the field, but not enough for the 1st down. It was 4th down and 17 after the huge loss on the sack. It was another reception for Capoletti, his 2nd now tonight, but not enough for the 1st down. It will be a turnover on downs. As time expires here in the first quarter, so a sloppy first 11 minutes of play that saw an interception thrown by Franklin's quarterback, Jake Noviello. Milford was not able to capitalize. We saw Franklin also have to punt from inside their own end zone. And so the Panthers have struggled offensively, but Milford has not fared much better on their side. Twice they've had the ball inside Panther territory, but they have not been able to put any points on the board. And so, again, after the first quarter of play, it is still scoreless between Milford and Franklin. We will take a very quick break and be back with the second quarter right here on Milford TV. And right back to action now as we begin the second quarter. First down and 10 for the Panthers. It was Walawaki with the carry once again. So right now, both of these offenses relying very heavily on their running game, and really one back in particular. Walawaki again on the carry. He's able to get a couple. Sets up third down and about 5 yards to go for the Panthers. Right now pinned inside their own 20-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 18, as Noviello now looks to throw. He's hit late, but he's able to make the completion. And now the first down gained. Noviello hit as he threw, and it looked like he was able to hit the running back, Jake Walawaki, for the first down. Noviello holding on to that ball for a long time. Milford getting penetration into the backfield. But right at the last moment, Noviello spotting his running back, and he was able to make the completion underneath, and good yards after the catch for Walawaki to get the first down. And now the Scarlet Hawks call a timeout, stopping the clock with 9 minutes and 48 seconds to play. We've had an opportunity to cover quite a few of the Franklin teams on Milford TV over this past week. Back on Monday, we were able to cover girls volleyball action in the Milford gym between Milford and Franklin. And on Wednesday, a good matchup here on this field for the boys soccer programs from Milford and Franklin. And full game coverage for both of those games is available for viewing both on Milford TV's educational channel as well as on our YouTube channel. Just head over to YouTube and search My Milford TV. And of course, we also want to welcome in our audience live streaming the game tonight for the second straight week. Milford TV very happy to be conducting a live stream internet broadcast of Milford football. Offered exclusively online on milfordtv.net or through the live stream app. Back to action now out of the timeout. Walawaki once again gets the carry on first down. A stutter step and then a few extra yards as he crossed towards the far sideline. Walawaki not big in stature, but he is elusive. The kind of running back Bill Belichick would appreciate. He's listed at 5'8", 170 pounds, but proves to be very tough to bring down. Once again, Walawaki getting the carry, setting up a third down and short. A good crowd on hand once again here at Milford High School. The home stands completely full as Noviello looks to throw, completes it into the flat, and great coverage immediately from Tony Mobilia. After the catch was hauled in by Packy Watson, Mobilia able to bring him down and set up fourth down. Eight and a half minutes to go as we will see a punt here from Franklin. The kick sent away by Brandon Gillis. Milford will let it bounce. And Franklin will bring it to a stop at the Milford 34-yard line, excuse me. And the Scarlet Hawks now will have their third offensive possession of the game. So far, a punt and a turnover on downs has been the day for this Milford offense. Last year, this offense, a touchdown machine, especially in the second half of the season. But so far, into their sixth quarter of 2016, and they have yet to put the ball in the end zone. They will set up in the I formation on 1st and 10 from their own 34. And instead, they try a quick pass into the flat, completed to Capoletti, but now Franklin able to counter a very similar play to what we saw on 3rd down for the Panthers. This time it was Franklin who was able to immediately meet the receiver, and that will end up going as a 3-yard loss for the Scarlet Hawks. Right now, when Matt Curran has gone to that passing game, Jack Capoletti has been his favored target. On 2nd down, Curran again looking to throw. This time he dumps it off, looking for Hill. It was very softly thrown and nearly intercepted. Jake Lyons was there. He got a hand on it. A very soft dump-off pass from Matt Curran, and it almost cost him. And now 3rd down and 13. So we do see the Hawks trying to open it up a little bit with the passing game, but without success. Curran under center on 3rd down and long. They hand it off, and they give it to Amamense. He gets a couple of yards, but doesn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. And Milford once again will be forced to punt. Coming down to 7 minutes to play in the first half. A 0-0 game. Now a high snap. And Sean Lehane just unflappable. Calmly is able to haul it in and then send a decent punt away. It sails back towards the, would be the 37-yard line. They'll mark the fair catch at the 36. So far, a total of 6 possessions between these two teams. We've seen 4 punts, an interception, and a turnover on downs. Not exactly a barn burner on offense early on. On 1st down, it's Walawaki who gets the handoff. He's able to get just a yard past the line of scrimmage before he's brought down. Second down and 9. And again, the ball in Walawaki's hands. And he's able to dance his way to the 40-yard line. And not really anything mysterious about this offensive game plan for the Panthers right now. They are putting the ball in Walawaki's hands on the majority of their snaps. Milford showing pressure. They have a man untouched in the backfield, and that forces Noviello to send the throw down to the feet of his offensive lineman. An incomplete pass. And 4th down coming up for the Panthers. Good pressure brought that time. I believe it was Josh Lagore who was able to get into the backfield. He was right in the face of Noviello when he threw that incompletion. And so you can make it now 5 punts so far through this first half. Line drive kick, it takes a bounce at the 30, scooped up there. And now Ryan O'Toole heads up the middle. He's able to bound his way to about the 37 or 38. There's some jousting after the play. Did the ball come loose? And it appears that O'Toole was down before the ball came loose. It will stay Scarlet Hawks possession. 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first half in a 0-0 game. Who will blink first here? First and 10 from the 34. Curran again takes the snap, but a flag comes in. And a false start call going against the Hawks. And this will be a 5-yard penalty, setting up now 1st and 15. Milford starting out this possession, going in the wrong direction. As Curran gets the play from Coach Alex Dion, relays it to the huddle. Milford's head coach, of course, Joe Todd, into his 4th season. They put Capoletti in motion on 1st and 15. The handoff goes to Blake Hill. He has some space on the far side. He accelerates past midfield, taking defenders with him as he gets inside the Franklin 40-yard line. A huge gain for Blake Hill. The senior running back getting loose on that far sideline and taking Milford deep inside enemy territory. A 32-yard run for Blake Hill. First and 10 from the 39. They pitch it out to O'Toole. O'Toole now with some space on the near sideline. And he looked to be close to the Milford first down. He does indeed have it. So this running game getting something going here on Milford's 4th offensive possession of the half. We're under 5 minutes to play. Yes, Milford will have 1st down and 10 from the Franklin 25. Blake Hill and Ryan O'Toole each breaking off good runs. And now they pitch it to Hill. Hill sees a hole, he forces his way through. Now, again, with defenders pigpiling on top, Hill is able to get close to that 15-yard line for the first. And they look to be, no, they won't call for the measurement. They will give Hill the 1st down, so he gets just enough there, a 10-yard gain. So that's already 42 yards on the ground on this possession alone for Blake Hill. With 4.5 minutes to play, it's 1st and 10 from the Franklin 15. And right back to Hill. He's met immediately this time. He gains about 2 yards. Keeps the clock moving. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Hawks when play resumes. These fans starting to come to life now after a sluggish start to this football game. Milford showing a little spark on offense on this drive. It started back on the Franklin 34, now all the way down inside the Franklin 15. Now here's Hill, still on his feet, pushing his way forward, and he is in for the touchdown. And there it is, Milford's first touchdown of 2016. A 13-yard touchdown run for Blake Hill, and Milford is able to take a 6-0 lead with the point after coming up. And the kick is away. And the kick is good. 3 minutes and 28 seconds to go in this first half. Milford gets their first touchdown of 2016, and they take a 7-0 lead over the Franklin Panthers as we bring you coverage of Milford High School football on Milford TV. How about Blake Hill on that last possession for Milford? He gains a total of 57 yards on that drive alone. A 32-yard rush got it all started. And it ultimately ended with Blake Hill, as there's the Milford special teams quickly converging on Kinley Baird, the return man. And once again, it will be a long field for the Panthers, down at their own 15. Looks like the official line of scrimmage will be the 14-yard line. And so right now, this Milford defense and this Milford special teams unit feeling good about themselves. They have very much limited what Franklin has been able to do. They have pinned the Panthers deep into their own territory just about every time they have had the football.
First and 10, Franklin at their own 14.
3 minutes and 23 seconds to go in this first half. As Jake Noviello takes the snap, he looks to throw. It's a quick hitter. Completed to Kinley Baird. And Baird's able to cross the 20-yard line to the 22.
Passed off by number 14, Kinley Baird.
Second down and 3. And now it's back to Walawaki. He looks like he's stopped short of the first down. Now they will award the senior back just enough to move the chains. So a good effort there from Walawaki, as Franklin's able to get the first down. First and 10 from the 24. Again, Noviello looking to throw. He gets flushed from the pocket, feeling the pressure, and that ball swatted out of bounds. That was Josh Lagore.
Swatted away by number 56, Harrison Bliss. There's a second down and 10 for Franklin.
Second down and 10. And now a quick passing attempt, and that is completed. Noviello able to hit Sean Leonard, and that will go as a first down. The clock continuing to roll, just over 2 minutes to play. Franklin hurrying the tempo here as they will hand it off to Walawaki. He gets a handful of yards. Past their own 40-yard line to the 42. Franklin continuing to go no huddle, right back to Walawaki, and this time he's met in the backfield.
Walawaki, the ball carrier. Loss is 1 on the play. There's a third down 8.
Third down and 8 now for the Panthers. They ruled out a 1-yard loss. Milford getting their personnel out there on the field. Blake Hill out into that defensive line. He forces his way through, gets penetration, but again, they're able to get the dump off pass to Walawaki, who now reverses course and is able to cross midfield. He gets the first down. Those quick reflexes out there from Walawaki. He could feel that pressure coming. He was able to reverse back towards the middle of the field to get himself enough extra yardage for the first down and cross inside Milford territory. Now another quick pass intended for number 87, Connor Peterson. That stops the clock with 1:24 to go. Franklin trying to get themselves down the field to perhaps tie this game going into halftime. From the shotgun, Noviello takes the snap. He hands it off to Walawaki. Missed tackles in the backfield, and that allows Walawaki to spin his way forward for the first down. There were a couple of Scarlet Hawks there that had the chance to bring him down for the loss, but he was able to quickly accelerate past them. And a big bright spot in this first half has been the play of Jacob Walawaki for Franklin. And that play whistled dead. The timeout was called. Milford calls the timeout. It's been a rapid fire tempo to these final minutes of the half as Franklin has been going no huddle, but here Milford takes the timeout. They want to make sure their defense stays on the same page and trying to get a little bit of rest for this unit as well. We talked about it last week. Milford with a lot of two-way players. You look at these two sidelines, you can just see the difference in personnel. About twice as many players over on the Franklin sideline, so that has forced many of these Milford players into double duty. And with this up-tempo nature of this last drive, Coach Todd giving this defense a chance to catch their breath and get hydrated before they retake the field. Temperatures much more comfortable for these players out there. We had temperatures into the 90s for much of the day prior to last week's game. Temperatures hovering around the mid-70s today, cooler than that now. So certainly comfortable playing conditions. As we're back out of the timeout now with 1:08 to play. Again, the handoff goes to Walawaki, who tried to scale over the Milford defense. And he gets brought down after a gain of about 2 yards. Like he was trying to hurdle over a defender. And it was Amamense who was able to make the tackle. Clock rolling, 40 seconds to play. Noviello looking to throw, looking deep down the field. Now in some trouble, rolling out to his right. Now sends the pass to the far sideline, a short completion there. Just inside the 35 to the 34. And it was Walawaki. That has been the safety valve for Noviello. So a 3rd down and 6 coming up. This time Franklin will take their time with just 29 ticks to go until we get to halftime. And again, just looking at that last play, Noviello had a lot of time to look downfield, but good coverage in the Milford secondary. And so eventually, Noviello had to go to the check down to Walawaki to keep the drive going. Setting up this 3rd down and 6. Both teams now back out of the huddle. This has been the lengthiest possession for Franklin of this first half. They've been able to drive their way down to the Milford 39-yard line. 34-yard line. And Noviello again will look to throw, sends it straight up the middle, and the completion is made, hauled in by Connor Peterson. And 21 seconds to go. And all of a sudden now a big play from Franklin, and they have a chance here. A quick snap, they hand it off to Walawaki. He is swarmed. A feverish tempo. Just 15 seconds to play as Franklin calls the timeout. Second down coming up. Looks to be just inside the Milford 10-yard line. So this Milford defense was so tough on Franklin through the majority of this half, but between the no-huddle offense and a couple of good passing plays, Franklin has set themselves up with an opportunity to tie the score in these closing seconds. Milford trying to find that second gear here to bear down and prevent this score. Franklin should have a couple of cracks at it here with 15 seconds left. They return to the field, spread out wide. Noviello does have Jacob Walawaki to his right. Milford showing pressure. As Noviello takes the snap, he looks to throw, looks over the middle, and the catch is made. Kinley Baird able to make the catch. It goes as a 9-yard touchdown completion. Kinley Baird with the big play for the Panthers. And they are an extra point away from tying this game with 8 seconds to go. And Baird now lined up to make the kick. The ball is down, the kick is away, and the kick is good. It just sneaks inside that right upright. And so Baird gets the touchdown, and he gets the point after for good measure.
Moving.
And with just 8 seconds to go until halftime, we are all tied up, 7-7. Franklin will kick the ball away when we come back. Next coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics on Milford TV. Late touchdowns here in the second quarter for each of these teams. Tied at 7 now as the kick is away, a line drive. And the kick is brought back just shy of the 40-yard line. It was Legore who ended up making the catch on the short kick. And just 2 seconds left. We'll see if Coach Todd sets up a play here. Will they take a shot downfield, or will Curran just take the knee? The fact that the coaching staff is coming down from the top of the press box and the tight formation out on the field would suggest Milford is going to just let these 2 seconds bleed down. And they do indeed. Matt Curran takes the knee. The final 2 seconds tick off the clock, and that is it for the first half. After a rough start to this one for both of these offenses, they were able to kick in gear. It was Milford's running game that powered their way to their first touchdown of the season, a 13-yard touchdown rush from Blake Hill that gave Milford a 7-0 lead with 3 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the half, but Franklin was able to respond. A couple of nice completions from quarterback Jake Noviello, concluding with a 9-yard touchdown completion from Noviello to Kinley Baird. And that sends us into halftime tied at 7. Milford and Franklin all tied up. And so we will step away now with our commentary until the second half, but we'll have halftime festivities going for you in the meantime. The marching band expected to take the field. And so we will enjoy the halftime show, and we will be back for the third quarter when we come back next. Again, Milford and Franklin tied at 7 as you enjoy coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics right here on Milford TV.
What are your guys' thoughts on the game so far?
It's great!
Do you think Milford's gonna win?
Yes, of course!
Yeah. What's like the crowd mentality right now?
Lit as always!
attention, please pull out your 50-50 now.
And we are back inside Milford High School once again. Time for the second half between Milford and Franklin. The Panthers ready to kick it away. The ball is in the air, reeled in around the 11-yard line, and some good moves now towards the open field, and a great return from Ryan O'Toole, nearly to midfield. And Milford pumped up as they come out on offense to start the third quarter in the 7-7 game. We do want to amend a uniform number issue that we were going through the first half. On our roster that we were issued for Milford High School, we had Josh Lagore listed as number 56. Josh is in fact number 51. Harrison Bliss making the uniform number switch from 21 to 56 just before the start of the season. So it was Harrison Bliss with those impressive defensive plays in the second quarter. We want to give credit where credit is due, as Blake Hill gets the handoff on first down. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage on the play. And it will be fascinating to see how these head coaches adapt to the play of the star running back on each side. We saw Blake Hill and Jacob Walawaki really exuding their will in this game through much of the first half. Second down and 10 for the Hawks, as again they hand it off. This is Asong Amamense, a stutter step, has the first down, a spin move, stays on his feet, now back towards the middle of the field. He crosses the 15-yard line before he's finally brought down. A huge gain for Asong Amamense, the Milford captain. And this Hawks running game picking right back up where they left off in the first half, as they will have 1st and 10 from the Franklin 15. Check that, make it the Franklin 25-yard line, excuse me. Just over 9.5 minutes to play from the 25. The pitch to O'Toole. He forces his way through. A flag comes in late as O'Toole continues to burrow his way forward, this time getting the Hawks towards the 15-yard line, but flags fly in. And we wait now for the ruling, and a hold on the Scarlet Hawks, and unfortunately that will wipe away that impressive run. O'Toole, who had the great return, about a 40-yard return on the opening kickoff to this third quarter. Breaking off a nice run there, but again, the holding call pushes Milford back. First down and 15 for the Hawks. Now from the 31. Curran takes the snap, hands it off to Hill. Hill slices through the middle, and he is going to go in untouched for the touchdown. A 31-yard touchdown run for Blake Hill, his second rushing touchdown of the game, and the Scarlet Hawks will retake the lead. And again, Lehane out ready for the point after. 8 minutes and 58 seconds still to go in this third quarter as Milford takes the opening possession the length of the field. Again, that great kick return from Ryan O'Toole got it started, and Blake Hill finishes a 31-yard touchdown rush to go along with a 13-yard TD rush from the first half. And Blake Hill really dominating this Franklin defense tonight. Milford back on top now 14-7. We will step aside and be back with you in just moments here on coverage of Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV. Lehane now will kick it away after the touchdown drive. This will wobble its way out to about the 7-yard line. Now Franklin looking to take it up the far side, but not much room. Boy, the Milford special teams have really been on point tonight. We have not seen much in the way of kick returns for Franklin. This special teams unit with such good speed closing in. So another long field for Franklin. They were able to travel a good 80+ yards down the field for that touchdown score just prior to the half. That ending with a 9-yard touchdown catch by Kinley Baird. As these two teams play under the harvest moon tonight. Many places around the world will see a lunar eclipse tonight, not here in Milford. As Walawaki gets the carry on first down for the Panthers. But a picturesque sky overhead here at Milford High School as these two teams duke it out. The Davenport's Milford Scarlet Hawks and the Kelly Rex Franklin Panthers. Both of these teams coming in with 0-1 records. As Noviello fakes the throw, they end up rushing up the middle. The ball coming loose. Milford seems to think they have it. And they do. The fumble recovery for the Scarlet Hawks. Franklin putting the ball on the ground, and Milford will get it back deep inside Franklin territory. The second turnover Milford has forced tonight. They will award the fumble recovery to Connor Corbett. The second Franklin turnover tonight. And Milford now with a 1st and 10 from the Franklin 25. And we will see a timeout now called on the field. Franklin calling the timeout, stopping the clock with 8 minutes and 14 seconds to go. Milford up 14-7. They have the ball deep inside Panther territory after the turnover, and they will be back on offense when we return on Milford TV. We return from the timeout, 1st and 10 Scarlet Hawks, and it is Blake Hill who gets his number called to open the drive. A very short gain that time for Hill, maybe 1 yard. As the third quarter clock ticks under 8 minutes to play. Still plenty of time in this one. And as Milford learned the hard way against Franklin last year, no lead is safe. A 2-touchdown lead midway through the third quarter, and that did not hold up. A pair of backs in the backfield for the Scarlet Hawks as Curran takes the snap. He hands it to Hill. Hill trying to turn the corner on the far side, cannot do it. Gets maybe as far as the 21-yard line before he's brought down. They'll give Hill a gain of 2. It's the Franklin defense now looking to tighten up. Milford breaks the huddle. They head back to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down and 7. Curran looking to throw. Sends the pass out to the near side. It's hauled in. Again by Jack Capoletti. Just inside the 15-yard line. It looks like he got about a yard past that first down marker, so it moves the chains. Sets up 1st and 10 from the Franklin 14. And another solid effort for Capoletti. Passing attempts hard to come by at times in this Hawks offense, but Cappelletti making the most. Good rapport with the first-year quarterback, Matt Curran. Now it will be the handoff on first down. Blake Hill lowers the head. Looked like he got down close to the 5. They'll mark him down at the 6. So it'll be second down and short. Second down and 3 officially. Line of scrimmage, the Milford 7-yard line. The ball rushed up the middle. Amamense, the ball carrier that time, and he has enough for the first down, so this will set up first and goal for the Hawks. From the 3-yard line, Milford on the verge of their 3rd touchdown tonight. First and goal. Curran is ready. He takes the snap. He hands it off to Amamense, who tries to make his way up the middle. The ball comes loose. Milford thinks they have it in the end zone. We have not seen a signal. They will keep it Milford ball, but they will say he went down shy of the goal line. So Amamense fumbles, but Milford recovers, and they will have second and goal from the 1. 4 minutes to play in the 3rd. And we'll see if Curran runs it in himself here. Instead, he hands it to Amamense, and he is in for the touchdown. The captain, Asong Amamense, gets the 1-yard touchdown rush to up the Milford lead. And now it is the Lehane point after attempt. Under pressure that time, but he's able to get the kick away, and it is good. 3 minutes and 46 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, and Milford, a familiar score here against the Franklin Panthers late in the 3rd quarter. They open up a 21-7 lead over the Panthers. Much more to come in this game when we come back next here on Milford TV. A 21-7 Milford lead as Lehane kicks it away, sends the kick deep to the 10-yard line. It is hauled in. And now dragged down from behind is Kinley Baird. He was the recipient of the Franklin touchdown in the first half. And so Milford, off of the second Franklin turnover of the game, this time they were able to make it hurt. They were not able to score any points off of the Cappelletti interception in the first quarter, but this time Connor Corbett collecting the fumble, and Milford is able to put it in the end zone on the 1-yard touchdown rush by Asong Amamense. And now Noviello looking to throw on first down, looking to the far sideline, but the pass is broken up. Intended for Connor Peterson. And that looked to be Asong Amamense once again, who was able to deflect that ball out of play. .333 to go in the quarter. Second down and 10. Jake Noviello, the junior quarterback, sends a quick screen pass towards the near side. It's hauled in by Kinley Baird. It will set up a 3rd down.
Game brings up 3rd down and 6.
Officially a 4-yard gain, setting up 3rd down and 6. Noviello looking to throw, looking over the middle, and the ball just overthrown. He had Connor Peterson open in stride. Peterson trying for a nifty one-handed catch, but it was just beyond his grasp, and that will set up 4th down. Milford a little lucky that that ball was overthrown. A lot of green grass in front of Peterson. Instead, it sets up 4th down and 6, and we will see another Panther punt. A low snap, and they're just able to get the kick away. It takes a good Franklin bounce, and Milford will now stay away from it as the ball comes to a stop at the Milford 46-yard line.
First and 10, Scarlet Hawks at the round 46.
So far a fumble lost and a punt has been the 3rd quarter for the Panther offense, and now Milford will get another chance. They have come through with a pair of touchdown drives each time they have touched the ball here in the 3rd quarter, opening up a 21-7 lead. And 1st and 10 from their own 46. Here's Curran, he hands it off to Blake Hill. He runs into the pile. Maybe collects a yard.
Blake Hill about down there.
They'll give him a generous gain of 3 yards.
3 yards on the play.
And Milford, no doubt, will be getting into clock management mode as the 2nd half winds on, but they want to stay alert and aggressive out there. As again, we've talked about it, they had this same exact lead against the Panthers in the 3rd quarter last year and saw that lead quickly evaporate. With 2 minutes to go, Hill takes the toss, slices through the middle, deep inside Panther territory, and finally comes to a stop inside the 35-yard line to the 34. Another huge run by the senior captain, Blake Hill. And Hill sending a message to the Panthers and sending a message to the rest of the Hockomock League. With 90 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, the Hawks back to the line. They have a couple of receivers to the near side, and instead the handoff goes to Ryan O'Toole. Weaves his way forward, just shy of the 30-yard line. Ryan O'Toole has had a nice game as part of the Milford rushing attack. Again, Milford taking their time, 50 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter as they break the huddle now. A 2nd down and 7 from the 31. Capoletti in motion. And penalty flag flies before the snap. And it is a delay of game penalty against the Scarlet Hawks, so Milford letting that clock wind down a bit too much. And now getting pushed back 5 yards. This will set up 2nd down and 12.
It's a penalty, 2nd down for Milford. It's a 2nd and 12.
Pushed back now to the 36. Curran a glance to the sideline. Now takes the snap. He fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right. He will run with it himself, and he is hit as he reaches the 35-yard line. That will serve as the final play of the third quarter, as it looked like Curran was shy of the original line of scrimmage, so that will end up setting up a 3rd and long situation for the Milford Scarlet Hawks, as we have now concluded the third quarter of play. A terrific third quarter for the Scarlet Hawks. They score a pair of rushing touchdowns to open up a 21-7 lead over the Panthers. We'll flip the field and be back for the fourth quarter when we come back next. Coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics right here on Milford TV. This Milford crowd having a lot more fun tonight than they had last week. Not a whole lot to cheer about for the hometown fans 7 days ago, but a different story here against the Panthers. They've seen their team score a trio of touchdowns so far on the evening. They lead the Franklin Panthers 21-7. As Milford TV brings you coverage of Milford High School football, I am Tim Coet, happy to be with you. Full crew for Milford TV on hand once again. Plenty of media on hand overall for this game tonight. This game being broadcast on WMRC locally as well on the radio, and also Franklin TV in the house as well. So crowded press box, crowded stands, and a good game on the field, and we're about to get underway with the fourth quarter. A 3rd down and long. Curran looking to pass. He has Capoletti open. He is close to the first down. He will be a couple of yards shy. So it will set up 4th down and 2. And what will Milford do here? They might just be trying to bring Franklin off sides. Instead, they go for the quarterback keeper, looking for 2 yards. They push Curran forward. And we'll see if he got enough. We'll see where they spot the ball. Looks like they have the ball spotted right at the 24-yard line. And now they give the signal to move the chains, so they needed 2 yards. They get just barely enough. Curran on the keeper, keeps the drive alive, and it will be 1st and 10 Hawks from the Panther 24. And they keep the clock moving, under 10 minutes to play. And the handoff now up the middle. It's Blake Hill twisting and turning, keeping the legs moving forward. Inside the 20-yard line, down close to the 15. They give him 9. It's 2nd down and a long 1. And this time it's Ryan O'Toole who gets the toss. He moves his way forward. Looks like he might have gotten enough for the Milford 1st down. And now they will move the chains. So this Milford running game doing just enough to continue to keep this drive moving and eating up time as they do it. Now this time it's Capoletti who gets the ball in the running game. Capoletti running off the left tackle for a couple of yards. Second down and 8 now coming up for the Hawks. Hoping to claim their first victory of 2016 and improve to 500 before they face their first official league opponent next week. Just over 8 minutes to play as Curran will look to throw, and he has the completion, and it's in for the touchdown. Curran throws his first touchdown completion of his varsity career. And Milford will tack on to the lead. And again, Lehane with the kick. And the kick is good. Just a tick under 8 minutes to play in the game, and Milford extends the lead out to 28-7. Everything going the Scarlet Hawks' way here in the second half. They have scored every time they've touched the ball in the second half, and they'll take that 28-7 lead as we continue forward next here on Milford TV. Junior Tyler Joyce getting into the offensive action for the Scarlet Hawks as he hauls in the 12-yard touchdown reception. And the point after gives Milford a commanding 21-point lead here in the fourth quarter. As once again, the special teams swarm in on the kick returner. That time it was Packy Watson. Was able to get just to the 20-yard line. First down and 10 now for the Panthers from their own 20-yard line, and first-year head coach Ian Bain trying to find a way to get his offense rolling. They ended up scoring 19 points last week, but that was in a blowout. Some of those points coming in garbage time, losing to Stoughton 58-19. They've now surrendered 28 points to the Scarlet Hawks, and Noviello will look to throw on first down. He had Kinley Baird open. He had it in his grasp momentarily, but then drops it to the turf, an incompletion. That stops the clock at 7:45 to play and sets up second down and 10. And this large deficit not conducive to this rushing attack for Franklin, but I can't even get the words out of my mouth before they put the ball in the hands of Jacob Walawaki. So the senior running back will continue to be a factor here despite the 21-point deficit. And he's able to get the first down for the Panthers. Setting up 1st and 10 from the Panther 34. And a timeout is taken by the Milford Scarlet Hawks. There are 7 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in this football game. Milford up big 28-7 as Milford TV brings you this coverage of Milford Scarlet Hawks football. The Milford High Marching Band playing us back from the timeout. As Noviello is ready, he looks for a receiver down the far sideline. It's overthrown and nearly intercepted. And that looked like Tony Mobilia, who was there possibly for the interception. He couldn't secure it, slams the turf in frustration. Second down and 10 for the Panthers. Still over 7 minutes to play as they send the quick handoff to Walawaki. Gets as far as the 38-yard line, setting up third down.
Third down 6.
On 3rd down and 6. Noviello dries off the hands, now looks to pass. Has a defender in his face, it's Tyler Joyce, and he brings Noviello down for the sack. Tyler Joyce, right straight through the middle, wrapping up Noviello and dragging him down to the ground. So Joyce, who just moments ago collected a touchdown pass, now gets the sack and drops Noviello for a 10-yard loss. And they are forced to punt here. They send the straight line kick. Not a good kick, but it will roll. It takes a very good Panther roll across midfield, and it finally comes to a stop at the 44-yard line. 5 minutes and 59 seconds to play. And more frustration for Franklin. They have not been able to get anything going offensively. This Milford defense has just continued to get better and better. Their lone blemish, that 2-minute drill that Franklin was able to successfully run at the end of the 2nd quarter. Outside of that, this Hawks defense has been flat out dominant. And the offense, certainly plenty to brag about themselves with a 28-7 lead. Curran back onto the field. And they hand it to Amamense on 1st down. Pushes his way forward to the Milford 47. Now we'll bring up 2nd down and 7 as the clock keeps on winding.
What is this?
Milford breaks the huddle, back to the line now. Amamense and Hill in the backfield. Capoletti in motion from left to right. Hill takes the toss. He finds a lane up the middle, and he has the 1st down into Franklin territory once again, as Hill comes to a stop about halfway between a 45 and 44-yard lines.
No good, sorry.
As the clock winds down, under 5 minutes to play. And listening to some of the discussion in the press box earlier tonight, I do believe it has not been since 2001 that Milford has come away with a victory against this Franklin team. As now, here's O'Toole. O'Toole busts off a big gain down the near sideline. He did end up out of bounds, but they ruled him down prior to rolling out of bounds. And that's good news for the Hawks as the clock keeps winding.
7-yard gain on the play.
A gain of 7 for O'Toole. Capoletti now splits out wide on 2nd down and 3. Now motions back inside to the slot as O'Toole takes the low toss, and he's able to collect the 1st down, a flag down at the end of that play. Let's see if this comes back. Milford expecting as much. And so they call a false start penalty against the Hawks.
It's a 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
And that will push them back 5 yards.
2nd down, 8 from the 43.
Unusual to see the play come to completion with a false start call. So it pushes Milford back to a 2nd and 8. Just over 3 minutes to go now. Milford closing in on a big Week 2 victory. Curran looking to pass. He looks for the tight end Tyler Joyce. He had to rush the throw.
This pass was incomplete. This pass was intended for number 30, Tyler Joyce.
Good penetration into the backfield by Tyler Gomes of Franklin.
from the Franklin 43.
And so now 3rd down and 8 for the Hawks. The clock stopped at 3:10 to go. This is Milford's 4th possession of the second half. They have scored touchdowns on each of the previous 3. On 3rd down and 8. A drop snap by Curran. He sends a desperation toss to Blake Hill, and Hill does the rest as he shoves his way forward. The helmet comes off, and now flags come flying in. Some hot tempers shining through there at the end of a play. As Blake Hill's helmet comes off, Coach Todd now rushing out to the field. Coach Todd immediately getting into it with the officials. It looked like Blake Hill had his helmet ripped off, but the way the Scarlet Hawks are reacting, it seems as if this penalty flag is going to go against Milford. Coach Todd is livid. The officials now getting together. And they will now indeed call the personal foul against Franklin. So the officials get together and they get the call right. So some chippiness now late. Franklin obviously disappointed with the effort out there, trailing this game by 21 here in the closing minutes. And letting that disappointment spill over onto the field in some poor sportsmanship. And they get penalized for it. Milford now getting the additional 15 yards in penalty yardage. And the Milford fans applauding in approval. So this sets up shop for the Hawks at the Franklin 15, and now this crowd energized again as Hill gets the ball in his hands, and he is in for his 3rd touchdown tonight. This one from 15 yards out. And Milford pouring it on now. Hill gets his revenge after getting some hard contact. He comes right back and drives the ball in from 15 yards out. And now Lehane out there. A low snap, a rushed kick. And that one just sneaking in. That might have gone directly over the upright, but ruling it a successful kick. And how about this? Just a week after managing just 5 total points in a week 1 loss, Milford now scoring 35 points here on their home field tonight against Franklin. And with 2 minutes and 43 seconds to go, a 35-7 lead. What a night for the Scarlet Hawks as they get set now to kick it away.
Okay, I know which way to mess up, so
And the Hawks now break out of the huddle as Sean Lehane will kick it away once more to the Franklin Panthers. The fans making about as much noise as they've made all night long as Lehane sends the kick back to the 10-yard line, returned back out. The good second effort that time out of Packy Wilson after the initial contact from Milford. He ends up getting brought down at the 24. So 1st down and 10 for the Panthers, as we are just about to 9 o'clock in the evening. Cheerleaders keeping the fans pumped up for these final minutes. 2:35 on the clock now as the Panthers offense gets set to go. Jake Noviello, he puts it in the hands of Walawaki. He has some space, tries for the stiff arm, but he is brought down. A gain of 4 for Walawaki. He's had a nice game individually, but overall this Panthers offense just frustrated all night long. 2nd and 6 as we tick down to 2 minutes to play. Noviello looking to throw. He dumps it off complete to Walawaki, who was brought down at the 25. And they will give him forward progress to the 26. No official gain, so it will be 3rd down and 6. Milford a little antsy, showing pressure. High snap, pulled down by Noviello. He completes the pass. Gets it to Connor Peterson. And that will be a 1st down. Heading down to the final minute of play now, so the Scarlet Hawks all but official getting this victory as Noviello completes it to Walawaki. He is twisted down out to about the 43. As now we do have exactly 60 seconds to go. Milford with one more home game coming up next week before they head out on the road for the first time. As this pass is completed in the flat, missed tackles by the Scarlet Hawks allow Franklin to get the 1st down. Ball spotted right at midfield with 30 seconds left. Milford in their prevent defense as this ball is completed underneath to Kinley Baird. The Panthers with 17 seconds left, trying for one more score to end what has been a nightmarish evening on a positive note. High snap. Again, it is pulled down by Noviello. He completes the pass for a 1st down with 10 seconds left to play. So this Milford defense, they don't want to allow a late score here. They've had such a terrific night. The line of scrimmage now, the Milford 36, where it is 1st and 10. Again, Noviello looking to throw, looking deep. The ball is overthrown and it's intercepted by Alex Salamone, and that will do it. It ices the game. A terrific night for the Scarlet Hawks. It ends with a flourish, and Alex Salamone, who had a very scary moment here on the field last week, went down with a calf injury. He was down for several minutes on the field before he had to be carted off, but healthy enough to suit up tonight. And he completes the 2nd Milford interception of the game, the 3rd turnover generated by this Milford defense. And Milford back out on the field to take a knee, wind down these final 3 seconds of the clock. And the Milford Scarlet Hawks with a tremendous 2nd half effort tonight. They end up blowing out the Franklin Panthers by a final score of 35-7. Milford breaking an extended losing streak against their neighboring rivals. And high marks all the way around for the Scarlet Hawks. The offense really putting it together in the 2nd half, backed by a 3-touchdown performance by Blake Hill. A 13-yard touchdown rush in the 2nd quarter, a 31-yard touchdown run in the 3rd quarter. and a 15-yard touchdown rush in the fourth quarter. That, along with a 12-yard touchdown pass to Tyler Joyce and a 1-yard touchdown run from Asong Amamense. That was the scoring for Milford tonight. The lone touchdown for Franklin came in the closing seconds of the first half on a 9-yard touchdown completion to Kinley Baird, but it was it was Milford's night tonight. And also high praise for the defense as well, that really made life difficult on Franklin quarterback Jake Noviello, and also the special teams playing solid for Milford tonight as well. So A's across the board as Milford improves to 500 now on the season. They are 1-1, and with the loss, Franklin drops to 0-2. As we mentioned, one more game coming up on this early homestand for the Scarlet Hawks. They will be back in action here at the Milford High School football field next Friday night to take on the Canton Bulldogs, their first Davenport opponent of the season. And once again, Milford TV will be present for coverage. We will be here at 7 o'clock to see the Scarlet Hawks take on the Canton Bulldogs. But Milford will relish in a terrific victory here tonight. And we would like to thank our crew from Milford TV on hand for the game tonight, doing a great job all night long. Our technical director, Rob O'Keefe, and our camera operators, Daniel Harlow, Malcolm Zale, and Tyler Nastry. And I am Tim Coet. That final score, one final time, Milford defeats Franklin by a final score of 35-7. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics right here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.
Play a team that we haven't been 26 years.